episode 11B. My name's Dave.
And I'm Dave.
And together we are
Twin Linked.
Bam! Welcome back. Hey, you know what? If you didn't take a break at all, if you just rolled right in from 11A straight into 11B, I don't blame you.
Can't get enough.
It's a good time. Good times.
We've been away for quite a while. It's still Tuesday the 19th.
Our timestamp has not changed, nor have our clothes, and nor have our underwear.
So 11B, we're going to talk about a tournament you played in, right, Dave?
That's right, Dave. I got out there, I stretched the wings a little bit, took my army out, and got some business done.
All right. Well, before we get into that, I want to tell you, we mentioned Troy every once in a while. He does he's our tech guy. He takes care of, does all this great work that you see around us.
I think without Troy, we wouldn't have a show. What do you think, Dave?
Well, you can go back and see our very first episode. That's what you would get. We had a white screen in the background. So anyway, T-Bone, thanks for all your work. And to show our appreciation, Dave and I have got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
From Hobbytown, USA in Fresno. Try and get the glare off.
Good luck.
A new Necron model.
Nice, Dave.
It's not going to help him, but he's been having trouble bringing his troops in. So I thought that he could go with another flyer.
You know, good job. I think that's a beautiful gift. And Troy, I hope you appreciate it. I know you'll enjoy assembling it and playing with it no matter what. And hopefully he gets a new Kodak soon and gives him a little bit of
It's not
boost.
going to help, but good luck anyway. And I didn't want you to feel left out, Dave, so I got you something too.
What? Is it Christmas? Oh, and a heavy weapons squad.
Yeah, Astra Militarum Heavy Weapons Squad.
Well, you want me to build you a mortar team?
Oh, no, I'm not going to give them to you. I got them for you, Dave.
Oh.
They're for you.
Oh,
But
I
I'm not
see.
going to give them to you. You're going to get it, but I'm not going to give it to you.
You know, it
You know
looks
what I'm saying?
bad, but I actually have faith that by the time Dave gets those assembled and painted in any way to play, the codex will come out and we'll have nerfed the mortar teams.
What am I going to do with my 47 mortar models now?
You better hustle, baby.
All right, well, we'll see.
Oh,
So,
man.
speaking of hustling, Dave,
Uh-huh.
you played in a tournament this weekend.
I did play in a tournament this
Where
weekend.
was this tournament, Dave?
Well, we played at Hobbytown USA right here in Fresno. It was just a little 12-man RTT, so a decent turnout for a local store.
That's a dozen.
Yeah, it was a good time. It was a good turnout, and everything went really well.
It did. So, Hobbytown USA, they just made some room, set up some extra tables,
Yeah, it's
trying to step up their game a little bit.
It is cool. They're really trying to accommodate the Warhammer scene here in the Fresno County area, and they recently revamped. They took out a whole bunch of shelves because they kind of used to always put us back in the back room, kind of hidden away from everybody. But they brought us out into the light,
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
right? So I think they're really trying to highlight the game and the hobby progress that's going on in Fresno, and trying to get more people involved. New edition, right?
Oh, I love that band.
A little easier entry.
Cool
And,
it now.
Yeah, so they did a lot of stuff to get it going.
All right, so 12-man tournament. Why
Yeah.
don't you tell us about your first round, Dave? Or start with telling us what you played.
So I took Death Guard, right? Death Guard was my primary, and Nurgle Demons as, you know, if you want to call it allies, but they're two separate battalion detachments. But this is pre-Codex. I mean, they'd kind of been pre-released, and you could go around there and find the stuff for it. But I was playing an Index army for the most part, right? With Typhus as my warlord.
I thought you had got that cured.
You know, it won't go away. I keep getting shots, but it keeps coming back. Maybe I should just... Anyway,
It keeps on giving.
gift that keeps on giving.
So Typhus.
Typhus, I had a sorcerer with a jump back, which isn't technically Death Guard, but he doesn't get the Death Guard benefits that everyone else does, but he can still be in the detachment for now. Now that the Codex is out, that wouldn't fly. He'd have to come in on something else.
Wouldn't fly. Hit a jump pack, wouldn't fly.
It wouldn't fly.
You know what would be funny? If you put that sorcerer on a broom.
That would be
That would
nice.
be a
You could
jump
put him on a palanquin, which is a bunch of nurglings walking around, which really is worthless.
Palanquin?
Is it palanquin?
It's not a broom, which I thought would be
It's
funny.
not.
So anyway, you got your Nurglings, you got your Typhoid.
Yeah, I got my sorcerer with a jump pack, and then let me see. For my HQ units for my demons, I had a demon prince with wings, and is that it on the demon side? I didn't have a whole lot of HQs. I didn't have the normal super smite spam stuff I normally run. when I took it down a notch. Oh, I had Belcourt. That's right. I did have Belcourt.
I forgot about that.
Forgot about Belcourt.
Demon Prince. Every time a Leman Russ dies, a demon gets its wings.
Yeah, no doubt. So that happens all the time.
Hey.
Then I had Nurglings for troops, of course. My 3 units of Nurglings for the demon side, which I always like to place out in front. They're fantastic Alpha Strike army blockers.
That's your troops choice?
For the demon battalion.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, they're great, man.
What do those things cost?
They're like 60 points for a group of 3. Well, if anyone knows them, they're weak. They can easily be killed. They're not that tough, but
And
they're
yet
small.
they're always there at the end of the game, getting points.
Because they're considered
being a-
low priority.
They're like poop that you avoid stepping in.
It's perfect.
It's like a little, looks like a cow pie, really.
It's exactly what you want
Just
when you're playing
don't waste
Nurgles.
your money on the models. Just go get little cow pies. Put them on the table.
Make them out of marshmallows like
Spray
they do
pan.
Brimstone Horde.
They do that?
Clay.
Oh, toasty.
Yeah, toasty. So
I
then,
thought you said marshmallows.
yeah, I think they did it once. Like one guy at a major tournament back east did like marshmallows when they very first came out.
Well, Stay Puft Man from Ghostbusters House is so I think it works.
Sort of. Yeah.
Cool factor.
Then I had 2 squads of Plague Marines for my troops on the other side. They were armed with the Blight launchers, so grenade launchers basically. I put them in Rhinos. The Rhinos had 2 combi bolters on them. And then I had a unit of 20 Poxwalkers, which filled out the troop slot on that side. I had 2 of the Fetid Blight drones, right?
Those are my favorite. Let me tell you, I just love those things.
These are awesome. I had a Soul Grinder.
That I don't worry about too much. Those blight is it blight drones?
Blight drone,
I
yeah.
hate those things so much.
I think
really
I think
hate
that's
them.
it, Dave. I think that's all I had.
So the walkers, the pox walkers,
Uh-huh.
I would when you're moving them on the board on the table, you should say, "I'm walking here. I'm walking here."
Right.
And there should be one. Do they have like a sergeant? Because he
No.
should be called Christopher.
Christopher Walken. I like it. So, first round,
First
I
round.
played against Sullivan Wybert. A lot of you guys might know Vince Wybert. He's fairly famous out there in the Warhammer community. He's been around for a long time. Played against his son,
The prodigy.
the Prodigy. Young guy, great guy. He brought an IG list, which, as everyone knows, is one of the best
awesome.
armies available right now in 8th edition. And he had a pretty unusual list. He had the standard, he had some conscripts and stuff like that going on, but then he had, was it a Stormlord? Is that the giant tank?
But yeah, there's so many giant tanks. I believe Storm something's one of
I
them.
think Stormlord or Stormbane or Storm Sword or Stormhammer. Anyway, it's a tank that
It's a
is
huge tank.
huge. He had Earth Shakers. He had 3 Earth Shakers.
Yes.
He had a Wyvern. And
Wyvern had a wyvern.
yes, exactly. Nice, Dave. He had 2 Flyers.
He had the vultures.
He had a Vulture and what's the other one?
Valkyrie.
Valkyrie. There you
The
go.
vulture is the Forge World.
That's correct. So many shots. Ridiculous. And
And
then
it's a
he
great
had
looking model too.
2 Lehman Rustangs to round it off.
Gotta have 'em.
So,
Like bookends.
like bookends. So, he definitely had me. He could have easily shot me off the table. He had a lot of stuff that didn't need line of sight. That super heavy tank tricked me because I charged it with Nurglings from behind a wall, so they couldn't do Overwatch on it. But they can fall back and shoot. They're like a flyer. They don't
yes.
have any restrictions for that. So that was a bit of a bummer. I didn't know that. I was all proud of myself by working them all the way up there. Yeah, for nothing.
Working them up there. You got work, Dave.
Yeah, well, overall it paid off. I was able to do what I had to do. I controlled the objectives. I got King of the Hill. I was able to get some people back there for Lion Breaker and all that kind of good stuff. So
How'd you do with that tank?
the tank I pretty much ignored. I think I smited him once because it was the closest, and I was like, oh, why not? It was early in the game, but for the most part, I just ignored it. I played the missions. I never even got near his Earth Shaker batteries or anything. The one thing I will say, and Sullivan and I talked about it afterwards, is this was a new army for him, so he had to look up a lot of stuff, and he didn't really have his dice organized well. So he was, there's so many shots in that kind of army, and then he was sitting there going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, counting his dice into his hand. you have to have them in piles of 10 when you play that kind of army. So you can just go 20 and 3. Boom.
Piles of 50.
Right? So it was just a little slow.
Especially
Eventually,
tournament style.
Yeah.
You're playing a tournament and time matters.
He set up quick. He didn't have a whole bunch of models. Over time, he definitely, I think, would have slowly taken the lead and shot my guys off the table. But we didn't get very far into the game. It was just a little bit slow, new army. And so, yeah, I won. I did pretty good. It was like 18-1 or something like that. But he's a great guy. I've actually played Sullivan quite a few times. He's a good guy, good player, good times.
Fine young man.
Yeah, fine young man. So one thing I did notice, though, is, and I've seen this quite a bit, and I wonder if you guys have seen this as well, is people with flyers, right? I'm playing this Nurgle army. I don't have long distance shooting, but I have a smite and stuff like that, and flyers that can go up and assault you, right? Like Be'lakor and stuff like that. But for some reason, people feel this urge to fly their flyers down the table when they could hover, right? Sullivan never had to fly those guys forward. He could have sat back behind his conscripts and just daka. I mean, the vulture's what, 40 shots?
I don't know. I don't have one.
It's something
Was
ridiculous
he
like that.
transporting anything with the Valkyrie? Or?
He did. He was transporting, and I shot the Valkyrie down because he brought it right into my zone. I focused all of my smites on it and then flew a Demon Prince into it to finish it off. And the guys were able to get out, but then they were right by my fetid light drones. Hose those guys down.
I hate them.
I was into that. So, yeah.
I meant that when I said I hate them.
If you have a flyer that can hover and your opponent can't shoot them out of the sky from a long distance and you got long distance shooting, be patient, I would say. Don't fly into the heart of that storm unsupported.
Live and you learn.
Live and you learn. So I won that game. My second game was against a new player to 40K, Lenny Sherman, a great guy, a friend of mine. I actually know him outside of Warhammer, and Vince Wybert's kind of leading him into the Warhammer pain train.
He hangs around with Squiggy, right?
Nice, Lenny Squiggy. Good job. He was playing Chaos Space Marines. So chaos on chaos action.
He just got into the sport,
and
he's doing chaos. How could you steer that man wrong?
Well, I think he got in at the very end of 7th.
Come to the light.
Very end of 7th, he got in, and he bought like the Dark Vengeance set or 2 of them. He gave
good call
the Space Marines to his son, and he kept the chaos and stuff like that.
Kind of how I got into orcs.
Exactly. Suckered.
I still love him.
So he had an unusual list. He had 2 Forge Fiends. He had some Havoc guys with missiles, or not missiles, I'm sorry, with laser cannons. He had a Land Raider. He had 2 Hellbrutes, which are shooty Hellbrutes with laser cannons and missile launchers. Did I say he had a Baden? He had a Baden, the main bad guy, right, of Chaos Space Marines.
Look, if somebody's got paint named after him, they're badass.
Baden the Black.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
That's who it's named after, right?
And then he had a couple...
I know my paint history.
You know your paint history. He had a couple units of...
Mustafo Red, whatever.
Fistone.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Then he had like 2 units of Chaos Space Marines, 2 units of Cultists to round out the whole thing.
Man, is this 2,000 points or 3,000 points?
It sounded like he had a ton of points, but
so how'd you handle it?
Once again, he made a few mistakes in his deployment. For some reason,
what was the mission?
What was
the
that
setup?
mission? What was that setup? We were the ones with the 2 table corners. I forget what that one's called. We have the circle in the middle, and you're in the corners like that.
Cootie shot.
And
circle, circle, dot, dot. Now you got a cootie shot.
I lined my stuff up, light on the edge, and I went for this. We had 2 objectives straight ahead on my right side. So my goal was to run up there and grab those, and I had Nurglings holding the 2 objectives on my left side, right? My old Nurglings, my old friends.
I hate them.
And so he brought his army mostly going across the top, but his Havocs he put in his Land Raider, so they weren't doing any shots. He was moving forward. Later on, we talked about it that needed to. Those guys need to be out. You're wasting those points if they're not out of your Land Raider.
I always say, if you got shots, take them.
Right?
Shot.
And he put those Forge Fiends, which only have a range of 24 inches, all the way in his back corner.
25 inches away.
Well over that. So he was trying to run them forward. It's just, he has to learn his army a little bit. He has some bad deployment choices.
American Sign Language for run.
Yeah, for running your army forward.
What are they playing? Bunnies?
Once he did, I deep struck Typhus all by himself into the back there by his max point objective, which was in his home deployment zone. He was able to sneak in the backside there and grab that. So, once again, Typhus sneaking in the backside, leaving disease and misery wherever he goes. But yeah, so, it was actually a fairly close game.
But you won?
But I won.
What was the score?
It was pretty high again. I think it was like that one might have been 19-0. Got a good score.
So at this point, you played 2 games,
right?
And you won 2 games.
I did. Fairly
That's
decisive.
pretty good.
Yeah.
So this is a 3-game tournament.
3-game tournament.
So we're going into game 3.
That's correct.
Round 3.
So round 3 played another undefeated player, Lucas Miguel, and once again he was playing Chaos Space Marines, right? So you see a theme going on here. Now his was
a bunch of evil people.
Yeah, he definitely brought a Forge World
Except
heavy
for Sullivan.
list. Except for Sullivan, that's right. He played straight up IG.
Well, what's the Forge World chaos?
So it's just Chaos Space Marines, but he had a lot of Forge World models in there, like the Charybdis, which is this giant drop pod that can like fly around. It hits every unit within 6 inches. It's good in melee. It's like a flying Land Raider, and it can hold up to 20 guys in it.
It's a drop pod that flies.
It's a think of it as a Land Raider that drops in and then goes cruising around, right? So it has a few weird rules though, like it drops in.
That's ridiculous.
And it has to deploy all of its guys out immediately. So one of the things is with my Nurglings being up there, giving me this nice screen, he was hesitant to bring it in and drop it down and force those guys out because he had all these Combi Plasma, Combi Melta guys all stuffed up in there. So he doesn't bring it in round 1. He waits a little bit, brings it in. I can't remember if it was 2 or 3, but then he brought it in back of his lines, hiding it from my stuff so I couldn't assault him and couldn't take those guys out. And then he had to reload and move them again. So it was a ton of points. They were all tied up in this, and they really didn't get a chance to do a whole lot.
And why didn't they come in? Because this Nurglings.
See,
so all you listeners out there, if you ever get a chance to play Super Dave here, Nurglings, they're worthless. They're just garbage. And yet, they're key to your victories, Dave.
Yeah, he had Nurglings
Captain
too.
Kirk here, watch out for his sneakiness, man.
So
what did he do with his Nurglings?
Lucas had Nurglings too.
How did he use his Nurglings?
And he did the same thing. He kind of placed them out in front.
They're kind of like mucus. You got to clog things up with them.
But on my left side, my left flank, we had 2 objectives out in the middle of the table. We both put our objectives out there. And then we both had 1 in our own territory. And at the end of the game, all the objectives are worth equal amounts of points. So I loaded up heavy on that left side and ran a good chunk of my army down there with my walkers on the back row to keep anything from deep striping in the back. I left my Soul Grinder back there just in case he dropped the stuff in. They could go over and engage him. And then my Nurglings were out there, cock blockery out in the middle, right?
I don't use that word,
blockery. And so I held that left side pretty good. He did start to bring, he had these Forge World Leviathans, these like super heavy dreadnought type guys that come in and shooting tons of shots. And he eventually brought his Charybdis around over to that same side where all my guys were at. And he was able to totally wipe me off of one of the objectives. But the other one I was able to hold. And I think we tied primary, tied secondary, but I had first blood. And my jump pack sorcerer had deep struck way into his back, and he never was able to dedicate people to go over there and kill him because he was behind line of sight. So it was line breaker that actually we both had line breaker. It was first blood that won me the game. Final score was 10-9.
Sneaky. He's very sneaky. So would you say that in all 3 of your games you were outmatched firepower wise?
Oh yes, definitely. When you play an army like I was playing, it's all about the objectives. You have to play the mission. Be conscious of what your opponent has. I mean, I did have.
I want to kill stuff.
I dig it, but that's not about tournament win.
My
it depends
target,
on what
my target priority is kill the easiest stuff I could kill because it's fun.
Yeah, it is fun, but
and then I lose.
It's fun to win too.
I wouldn't know.
Well, this was my first tournament victory every day. And I have to admit,
great job.
I played great guys. I had a lot of fun. I think all my opponents had a good time that played against me. And that's the most important thing.
That's not what they told me, but That wasn't meant for your ears,
They've been
Dave.
dropping trash. They've been Facebook trash talking.
And like I said, I got something for you, Dave. Oh, you're going to get it. You are going to get it.
So, having said all that, let's go ahead and we're going to take a look, wrapping the whole thing up, of our top 10 here on the West Coast ITC Tournament Conference Group. So, if you stuck with us the whole way, let's find out what the
Here's
standings
your
are.
reward.
Here's your reward.
So top 10 and us?
And of course, in us, Dave. All right, so coming in number 10, the man whose name I love to say, Rio Correa, coming in number 10 on the West Coast. Coming in number 9, Michael Schneider. Michael Schneider at number 9.
Big D.
Number 8, Tony Myers, our good friend of the show, Tony Myers with the Meta Mafia. He's also the number 1 Eldari player, I should point out.
Numero uno.
Mm-hmm. Coming in number 7, Matt Evans. Matt Evans is at number 7, the guy who beat me at the BAO. So I'm always proud of when I see people that beat me ranked high up there. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I like Matt Evans.
Yeah, no doubt. He was a cool dude. Coming in at number 6.
I like him because he beat you.
How? Dave, we're on the same team.
We are, and I want you to be challenged because I'm not doing it.
Mentally challenged me. Number 6, Aaron Hayden. He's number 1 Renegades player in the entire ITC, by the way. Aaron Hayden, good job.
That means the world.
And here we go, getting into our number 5s. So there's some weird things going on. People are playing tourneys outside of the West, so you get kind of 2 scores going on. Number 5 in the West is Adrian Genard. Adrian Genard, who is still the number 1 Sisters player. I don't see how he's going to get knocked off of that. And he is ranked number 5 globally right now. Number 5. Adrian, crushing it out there.
A name like that, he should be a captain of a Federation starship.
Whatever. The captain's coming up next. Number 4, Sean Captain Morgan. Well done, Sean. He's coming in 4th place. But see, now here's the interesting thing. Sean is 13th globally. So Adrian actually has him beat on the global market. But that's because he's played maybe a few
More
bigger,
outside the West.
Yeah, exactly. Coming in 3rd place in the West is Mitch Pelham. Mitch Pelham. Didn't Mitch he got 2nd place at the BAO. He was a Mugu Legion guy. He came down from Washington to California to play. And he is still the number 1 Space Wolf player, Mitch Pelham.
Woof, woof.
He's also ranked number 11 in the entire universe.
Awesome.
Playing
with dogs.
Playing with dogs. I don't know how he does it, dude.
Dirty dog.
I just don't feel like they have the meta right now, Space Wolves, but he's out there
But they're space
cracking
wolves.
heads. Yeah,
They're space wolves.
they are. Can't count them out, huh?
No.
Coming in number 2 is Brandon Grant,
The man.
the silent general, the gentleman general. Brandon Grant holding strong at number 2, number 9 in the entire universe. Good job, Brandon. And coming in number 1, Paul McKelvey. Well done, Paul. Playing his Tau, still number 1 Tau player everywhere, and number 6 in the entire universe of ITC.
That means there are 5 other people that Paul's coming after.
Cinco. That means
One at a
5 in
time.
Spanish. Yeah, go get him, Paul. Good luck.
So what place am I in?
So, Dave, in the West, do you want global or West first?
Oh, I want global.
Global. So, we've dropped a little bit in the rankings, I think, believe it or not. In the global standing, you are 1,999.
Top 2,000, baby.
As Prince would say, tonight we're gonna party like it's...
1999. I made it into the top 2,000.
Well done, sir. And in the West, you are at 648. 648 in the West. Good
That's
job.
impressive for me.
Myself, I am ranked 1232, 1,232.
Very nice.
However, I noticed that the Hobbytown scores weren't up in there, so I'm hoping to get a nice little boost from that Hobbytown ITC first place win. You know, maybe like because I only have 2 scores on there. This will give me 3, and that first place one will
Well,
push
I'm
me
only
up a
going to
little.
let you move away from me so much before I start hitting the gas.
Dude, I'm stretching the umbilical cord. Good luck, son. Good.
Stretching the, I don't even
Look.
know what that means.
That means
Stretching the
I'm
umbilical-
breaking away. I'm breaking away.
That's just weird, man. The umbilical cord. Leave it to chaos.
I'm ranked number
What do you do?
408 in the West.
Well, very
So,
good.
not bad.
Go
We're
ahead
getting
and
there,
distance
Dave.
yourself, Dave. Umbilical cord.
The most important thing is, man, we're having fun. We're having a good time. And you guys you're planning a good Garage Hammer game coming up
Yes,
here.
we are.
Aren't you?
Since he bailed out on me Thursday night, we had
That's
a
right.
game scheduled, but I think once he saw these cats,
Ridiculous.
he decided to take the night off. So yeah, we do
I'm
have
surprised
a,
you got the plastic off that box.
I had to look at him in the car, in the parking lot. I got to look at him. How many mortars are in here? There's 3 of everything.
Good golly.
Everything.
All right.
But yeah, we're gonna play some Garage Hammer. Took a day off work. So far, there's 5 of us
Nice.
that are gonna be playing.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get there. I might have to come after work.
Always welcome.
We're going to make an effort there so we can get a 6-man little RTP.
I'm gonna look into how we officialize it.
Yeah, dude. Best Coast Pairings app on events. There's 2. There's one for players. There's one for... Heck, I can look at my phone right
I
now.
could be a TO.
Yeah, you can be a TO.
Then I
don't
could
think
show
it's,
them a TO face. Oh.
It's just a BCP app, so there's one that's a player app and one's just a BCP app. And that, yeah, man, allows you to set up your event and give it a try and get out there. and
Maybe
do
we'll
that.
be reporting on that one.
I
And
love
if we're
it.
going to do that, then we have to add that to the list of upcoming events, which would be the Reedley Garage Hammer RTT coming
Taking
up this
place
Friday.
This Friday in Reedley,
somewhere
California.
in Reedley, California, which
Nice.
is located in Fresno County. For you viewers that are not familiar with Reedley, California, but that's what we got for this episode,
That's
right,
it,
Dave?
man. I hope you enjoyed it.
Congratulations on that great win,
Thank you, Dave.
representing Reedley Garage Hammer.
Boom.
And Twin Link very well, very proud.
Boom.
Very proud. I talk a lot of trash, but very proud of this man.
Well, hey, I tell you, tournaments are fun. If you're not playing in them, get out there, get your tournament on, meet some new people, and have a great time. So, for Twin League, this is Dave,
And Dave.
and we will see you in 2 weeks. Get out there and watch your Rambo.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Thank you, Dave.